Over years of reviewing TVs, I have found that sometimes you don't know how good a TV is until it's gone and you pick up something around the same price and it's not nearly as good. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Caleb Dennison, and today we're doing our full-on review of the Samsung Q90T. Now, in our unboxing and basic setup video, I kind of went on about how I was frustrated with Samsung pushing premium features up to the 8K TV line, making the flagship 4K look less like a flagship 4K, especially when you compare it to the Q90R of last year. But one thing you have to keep in mind is that this 65-inch Q90T is $2,500, and that's $1,000 less than the Q90R was last year. And honestly, if you look at the Q800T, it's only $3,200. So for similar features and performance, you're actually spending a little bit less. But if you only want a 4K TV, the Q90T is it. Let's take a look at how it performs. So my first question, how black can it get? And the answer is pretty stinking black. In fact, it shaves off a little bit of shadow detail to get the inky blackness there, but it's impressive. Definitely one of the things that Samsung has perfected over the years. Now, to do that, it's using a special layer, which both improves black levels and increases off-angle viewing so that you don't lose so much of the color and contrast when you're off to the side. The problem with that is that it kind of injects this rainbow effect in certain scenes. It's not super prevalent, definitely not something that leaps out at you, but it's an interesting side effect of that special layer. Overall though, I'm gonna take it because it really does look better off angle than most TVs. It is not, however, as good as the Q90R was last year. You're gonna have to actually step up to the Q800T if that's important to you. But you know what? It's not a meaningful step down. Overall, I'm enjoying the black levels. As for blooming, not too shabby. The black levels maintain around bright objects on a black background. Unfortunately, as this test is probably revealing to you, we have some screen uniformity issues. This screen is supposed to be uniformly gray, and as you can see, it absolutely is not. In fact, it's pretty bad. I don't recall the last time I saw a Samsung that had this issue. It's hard for me to know how hard to be on the TV for this because it's down to the panel lottery, right? You may not get this problem, or you might. So it's unfortunate that we have it here. The dirty screen effect is very real. You do see it in regular content. It's one of those things where if you notice it, then you can't not see it anymore. And again, it comes down to what you get. So I would encourage anybody who chooses to purchase this TV to give it a good look when you get it home. And if you notice a problem, don't hesitate to exchange it for another one. Now, how bright can it get? Very bright. 1500 nits was what it maxed out at, and that was with a full white window. Interestingly though, in a different test, it maxed out at around 1300 nits. That was with a 10% window, which is more of a standard. So I think it's gonna come down to the content. But the bottom line is, it gets plenty bright to juice up HDR. In fact, that's kind of Samsung's thing. It over brightens images in HDR. That's been a thing that they've done for a while. Some people call Samsung out as that not being accurate. Others say it's brilliant. I love it. I love to look at it. So I guess it comes down to what do you want? Accuracy or brilliance? I personally don't mind it, but I do understand some folks are gonna want accuracy above all. And if that's your bag, maybe this TV isn't the right thing for you. Next up, color. And I got a lot of respect for this TV in the color department. Out of the box, in the movie mode, I did need to do a little bit of adjustment, but not a lot. It was not entirely accurate right out of the box, but it didn't take much for me to get it accurate. I would say that if you want to hire a calibrator, they can get it looking just right in very, very little time. So I have a lot of respect for the color, as I said, in both SDR and HDR. Again, though, it's going to be a little bit over brightened in HDR. I don't think many of you are going to mind that too much. Let's talk about gaming. Full disclosure, I have not gamed on this TV. Honestly, I forgot my Xbox at home. Oops. But it doesn't matter because when it comes to gaming, I'm really interested in comparing this TV to the Sony X900H because that Sony is the only one that has variable refresh rate. So we'll look closer at gaming soon, I promise you. For now, what I can tell you is the input lag is super low, about 10 to 10.5 milliseconds in game mode. And it does support FreeSync, so you get variable refresh rate. Auto low latency mode goes right into game mode when it detects a console. And yeah, I think it's gonna be fantastic for gaming, honestly. The last major picture quality element I want to address is processing, right? Upscaling in particular. The TV is great at that for sure. I'm a little bit spoiled because Sony has the market cornered on processing. So if you're streaming something that is low bit rate, it's going to clean it up pretty well. Not quite as clean as the Sony, but very respectable. And as for upscaling low resolution content, it does that just about as well as any TV out there. Frankly, there's a lot to like about this TV. It can get very bright, it controls blooming well, the contrast is excellent, the black levels are solid, the colors are pretty accurate out of the box and can get very accurate with a little bit of adjustment. That's all great. But then the issues really knock the score down a little bit for me. For one thing, we have some panel uniformity problems. I'm hoping that's not going to be widespread. But then this layer that they're using to get the wide angle and the anti-glare is causing this sort of rainbow effect, which honestly, if you've got any ambient room light coming, it highlights it, which is opposite of the intended effect. I'm gonna look at that a little bit more as we do some versus videos with this TV, but for now, I think it might be an issue for some folks. I would definitely recommend you go check this TV out at a local retailer before making a decision about whether you want to try it out at home. And again, if you have problems, you can always return it. I know it's a hassle, but I do think the TV is worth giving a shot. This is going to be one of the best LED TVs we see this year. The question is, how is it going to rank against the others? And that's something I'm looking forward to finding out. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. We really enjoy doing these video reviews for you. Got a quick comment section question. Let me know, should I use this or the Q800T for our QLED versus OLED video? Really important consideration. As always, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and visit digitaltrends.com for the latest tech news and reviews.